So this is for 04 to 08, so 2004 to 2008 F-150s. All right, so this is a 2005 Ford F-150, and I had to take out the rear seat here so that I could get in behind this panel to get the code so that I can use the keyless entry on the door. So I went online to see if I could find some help on how to get this seat off, and all of the videos that I was able to find gave the same description to how to do it, and that is that you've got these tabs down in here. Okay, so there's these little tabs, and everybody was saying reach in behind here, which is a bitch. I'll show you that after, how I got my arm in here. And they all say to push on this tab, but actually what's happening is this tab here on the back of the seat goes underneath and hooks underneath this plastic tab. The way it was described in the videos that I found, I got the impression that somehow it was fitting in behind here and you had to move this tab forward so that you could unhook it from under there, but that's not the case. What's actually happening is that tab right there is going underneath this little lip, so that's all it is. So actually when you get your head back here, I was pushing and pushing and pushing and nothing was happening. Like I couldn't get it out. You've got to reach back here and pull back on this tab. So however you can manage to pull it back to get it back so it's hooked on top of here, you got to pull it back from there. And one of the things that you can do to help you with that is you push down on the top of the seat with your other hand as you're reaching in behind here. So on the other side, you can see I took off all the trim pieces and the seat belt and all that, because that's what one other video that I saw suggested, because that gives you more room in behind the seat, which again, like I said, I'll show you later. Me trying to tuck my arm in behind here. On this side I could get my arm behind, but on that side I don't know what's going on, whether there's less space on that side or somehow my left hand is bigger, I don't know. But the key takeaway from this is that when you do get your hand back here, you're not pushing on this tab, you're pulling back, and then the seat just lifts off. You know, this bar right there is sitting inside that saddle. Okay, so I've got the seat back in place, and so you see there's the amount of room you got to get behind, and my fingers just reach it. I can just feel it. So you got to really fight and get in behind. You grab the tab and pull it back, and then you just lift the seat up. On the other side, as you can see, I've taken all that off. It wasn't, it wasn't that big of a deal to take this off. There's a 10mm bolt up here and behind a little, one of those little tabs that just covers the hole up at the top. And then there's the Torx, which was a T50 Torx to take the seatbelt off, and then this just all pulls out little tabs and stuff. So it's not that big a deal, and it does give you a decent amount of extra space back in there, because as I said, I just couldn't get my hand back there. I could barely feel that thing, let alone get it back far enough to reach around and grab the tab. So to show you from this side, without the trim pieces on there, just reach back and behind and grab the little tab. This side I have to push down on it, pull the tab back, and then get the seat off. Now, that's happened to me a couple of times. It falls back in, but if it falls back in on the other side and you've already removed it, as long as the top hook, which sits inside of here, as long as that's not in place, it's a simple matter of to just pull the seat forward and it'll pull it out. One other thing that I didn't mention was, before you do all that, you've got to remove the little seatbelt cover. It sits up here on these two bolts, which have 10mm nuts on them. So there's a little tab or a little cover. There's a little cover that goes over top of this, and it's sitting here in place. So you just pry that off with your fingers if you can manage, or a screwdriver. And then you take off the two 10mm nuts, get that out of the way, and then you're into the process that I showed you down there. And always remember, you're pulling back on that plastic flap that's over top of the, I keep calling it a tab, I can't think of what else to call it, as opposed to pushing, which so many of the other videos, well, any of the stuff I found said reach back there and push on it. Now that I've got the trim piece back in place, I figured I'd try this side with my hand reaching behind without removing the trim. Come on! Alright. Oh yeah, there it is, it's released. So it was just my position when I was trying earlier that I couldn't get this arm, and it is a little less comfortable, but also I've got an injured shoulder over here which is affecting my mobility. So I hope this was helpful to you, to somebody, anybody, and if it was helpful to you, then leave a little comment in the comments and let me know that it was helpful. That'd be great. And also, if you can give it a thumbs up, a like to the video, that's great as well, because it all helps with that whole YouTube algorithm nonsense. Gets this video out to more people so that more people can be helped by it. All right, thanks again. Take care, and yeah, maybe you'll see me in another video. All right. Now, supposedly there's another method. Show it. Maybe you'll have better luck with it than I did. But to get those tabs that I showed you in the back and the little part that you're reaching behind, I guess the latch mechanism, the little plastic thing that you're reaching behind to pull back on to be able to lift the seat. Well, apparently you can come in through here. So when you look down in here, you can see the connector, or the mounting hardware for car seats. And if you go inside that, I'll see if I can find footage in the, because I don't feel like taking the seat off again. But anyways, supposedly you can come in through here and stay inside of it, and then when you saw that tab that I showed you that goes under the locking mechanism, there's a square hole in it. And supposedly you can get a screwdriver up in through that hole and push back. Well, there you go. Yeah, so that actually works. I'm unable to lift this off to demonstrate that I've actually got it here, because I've remounted the seatbelt cover up here, and that's preventing the seat from going up. But yeah, if you go on that bracket, on top of the bracket, and then kind of in the middle of it, where's it to one side? Now I'm not able to get it again, so I'm back to where I was in the beginning. So it does work if you can just manage to find that hole. There is the hole, I think. So yeah, so it does work. I'm not having any luck with it, and you saw the way I fought with it. They're even having done it once, whereas just reaching back and behind there, grab the tab and you lift it up. That's how quick it was. It's now released. So I'm going to stick with the hand behind the seat method.